بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. This is our program Spirit of Values. This is Dr. Tariq Rashid. In this episode we will discuss value of excellence. What are the main objectives of such an important value? Value of excellence. We'll see in a world of challenges what is the importance of values, especially the value of excellence. We have different types of values. We will mention the different types of values. Then we will mention the excellence model, its importance, its components, and its applications. In a world of lots of challenges, crises, disasters, risks, problems, we need to be excellent. Whether on the personal level, organizational level, society level, or even international level. First, let's mention the terminology cloud of values, principles, values, ethics, behaviors, attitudes, and action. What is the relation between such terminology? First, let's try to formulate what we call the pillars of values, which are very interrelated and very integrated. So at the highest level, we have values. But there are foundation for values. It's set on a set of pillars. First, we have always values are principles that we believe in. So they form the beliefs of each people, of each individual, of each culture and country, its principles. Then the principles, they have references. And we mentioned previously about different references for values. We have mothers, families, countries, and international humanity. So we have lots of references from which we take these principles. But we have to think of how can we reflect values in decision. And this is the most critical for all leaders, managers, and those who are in charge to take the decisions based on the references and principles. Then these decisions will be as an attitude application and taken as an action. The action will prevail the behavior. So this is the main concepts about values. What about ethics? Ethics used to describe the action. Is it an ethical action or non-ethical action? So sometimes you think, for example, of cooperation. Before judging is it good or not, it depends on the action. Same value cooperation. تعاونوا على البر والتقوى ولا تعاونوا على الإثم والعدوان. Still cooperation, but maybe in non-ethical attitude of cooperation or ethical attitude of cooperation. This issue of values should be always reflected in our minds. What about the concept of value types? We have two main types of values. Values that are reflected in knowledge. So we have the first pillar is knowledge-based. Then the second is action-based. So we can go for the knowledge-based, which reflect attitude, or the action-based. Managers believe in values that control actions. For example, creativity, and we discussed previously those values of creativity, innovation. All of these are classified as action-based because creativity and quality, for example, control the actions. However, in the knowledge area and attitude area, we have higher level that is reflected in our attitude, respect, cooperation. So this is attitude, respect, honesty, credibility, cooperation. All of these will control the attitude, while operational excellence, creativity, innovation, quality. Now we will concentrate in this episode and the following episode about the concept and value of excellence. How to be excellent, how organizations can benefit from excellence. Let's start with the excellence value. And first, let's ask the following questions. Are values related? And yes, for sure, values are interrelated together with what we call result chain of values. Result chain of values. This will show us how are values interrelated. So VRC, value relation or result relation, stepstone series. Inputs, process, and the chain of value. So in order to start, how can we apply the value and value of excellency? What are the inputs? What are the processes we have to follow? Then we get the output. This is an example how values are related. If you are knowledgeable and you have a good knowledge, this will enhance the value of awareness. When you enhance the value of awareness, this will make you more responsible. So responsibility is a value that comes in the series. Once you feel responsibility, now the value of commitment. Once you are committed, we go for development, and a highest value is excellence. So excellence is one of the highest values that we care for. Knowledge is just, we can consider it an input, although it's a value, but an input for awareness. Then you follow the process to get the output. The highest level is excellence. Happiness is another highest value which we discussed previously in several episodes. Achievement is a very high level value. So excellence is a high rank value. Let's go deeply and think of how can we get benefit from this value and what are the main components for such a value. One of the most highest, once we achieve excellence, we'll get to the top highest value is trust. And let us discuss the following question. When would you trust your manager? When would customers trust their organizations? When kids would trust their fathers and mothers? There are the 2 C's of trust. The 2 C's of trust, the first C is competency, which is a value related to action. Competency is one of the values related to action. The second is credibility, which is related more towards the aspect of related to ethics more, to honesty, reflected also credibility for all types of higher values. Once you are credible and competent, you gain the value of trust. Excellence is the input for trust. So if I took the value of excellence, although it is a very high range value and rank value, but also it is an input for trust. Once you are excellent, you are trustworthy. This is what we call the interrelation between several values to get to the highest level of achievement. And excellence by itself has operational values in action as well as attitude value that is reflected in our behaviors and actions. Let's start with discussing the excellence model. A model usually consists of some principles, some concepts, and criteria. So when we discuss the model, we will discuss principles in the model. We'll discuss what we call the main concepts and the criteria. And the criteria will help us to check the achievement of the excellence as a value. So the terminology related to the excellence model. Accelerators. What do we mean by accelerators? Accelerators are actions that will help accelerate the time of delivery. And usually We discussed previously the value of customer satisfaction. When you accelerate your processes, your services, your delivery of the output, your customer is satisfied. This will bring trust to the arena, and by this we move. So accelerators are actions that would help us to move quickly and provide quick service. Enablers. By enablers, what are the components that will help us to apply the accelerators? And the most important enabler is the human being. So enablers means we have the empowerment. So enablers will help us to achieve accelerators. Enablers, by applying the enablers, we reach the accelerators. But also for the terminology of excellence, go for FF. We should look for the future always. If you just look to the past or present, you miss the future. In the future, we have to look for future forecast, but also we have to look for future foresight. The main difference, forecast on a short-term level of the future, while foresight for the long future or the strategic future, we look for the foresight. Leaders look for the future foresight, while managers look more for future forecast. Another very important terminology in the model of excellency, creativity and innovation. You can get back to last episodes of creativity and innovation, but it's very important in the excellence model to go for creativity and innovation. Why? Because the world is changing and we have lots of changes happening. This means that we have to change all habits, actions, old actions to get to the arena of excellence, so creativity and innovation. But also one most important issue or thing to follow with excellence is digitalizing and technology. We are moving in a very quick world of digitalizing. Everything is digitalized. Technology is there, robotics, artificial intelligence, 3D printing, and who will manage all this model of excellency? Excellent managers and professional leaders that will provide the direction for the employees to follow in order to achieve the model of excellency. But also worldwide, we are discussing in the model of excellency, the ecosystems, the sustainability, and even the United Nations is caring now for 17 SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. This will, at the end, give me and you and all nations quality of life. So an excellence model have lots of issues to discuss. Again, accelerators, needs enablers. We have to think of the future, forecast and foresight, apply creativity and innovation tools, then excellent management and leadership, applying technology and digitalizing. We can go for sustainability of results, sustainability of resources, which means that we provide a high level of quality of life. Now, the pillars that concern the excellence model, 3 main pillars. Then for each pillar, we will define the criteria. So what are the 3 pillars for the excellence model? First, vision. We cannot start looking for being excellent without having a vision in the mind. Where are we moving? Where are we heading? So vision realization and strategic orientation is one of the most important pillars for excellence, which needs good professional managers and leaders to direct employees and followers for the excellence. So let's move to the vision realization, strategic orientation. Then the distinctive value is very important in the excellence model, and we need the enablers and empowerment tools in order we can achieve excellence. So the idea, we have 3 main pillars. Now each pillar has some criteria to follow. Let's start. What are the main components of such pillars of excellence? First, we'll take the first pillar, which is related to vision. Vision needs 4 criteria in order we can achieve it. The first and the most important criteria, how can we enhance the well-being and quality of life? Quality of life now is discussed in all models of excellency. Do you feel happy? Have you reached the highest level of quality of life? The main idea of excellence, care for this first criteria, quality of life. But another very important perspective in this criteria of vision, the future readiness. Are we ready for the future? Have we put an action planning for the future? Have we a good risk register to forecast and foresee the future? This is a very important criteria in achieving the vision. The third, strategic direction. We have to, as organizations, to translate our all actions to the future, so we relate to the strategic direction. And in the highest level of strategy, we mentioned previously, we have 3 levels of managerial levels. Top management always look for strategic actions, strategic directions. They show the vision, mission, values, and strategic goals. But then the senior management level will translate all this strategy into objectives to achieve. Then the operational level in management will concentrate this into actions. At the end, we have knowledge and action. We have thoughts, but we have also action to be taken. So the third most important criteria in the vision realization is the strategic direction. Then we have to define for any organization its main functions and services. So by this, we can achieve the first important pillar is the vision which direct us to achieve excellency. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.